Hey everybody, welcome back. Mr. Walker here. Going to go ahead and go over the next section of Amplify with you guys. We are a little bit further forward now in the curriculum. The reason for that is we're supposed to, if we're live in class, get the opportunity to rehearse and perform some of the play in front of the class. Now I know it's going to disappoint some of you that you don't get the opportunity to do that, but such is life. It's a weird year, right? Once again, I'm broadcasting here from the patio, but I will go ahead and do my best that I can on this lesson. I want to talk about Lesson 8A, Subunit 1, Lesson 6. I'm going to go ahead and share. We're going to go back to Subunit 1 right here. And we're all the way over here at Lesson 6, okay? You're the director. What we're talking about in this lesson, guys, is the check arrives. And we've got to figure out what everybody wants to do. Now, everybody has their own mind on what needs to happen with this money because it's a lot of money. So they've got a Venn diagram. If you guys have never seen a Venn diagram, the way that these work is the intersection of circles are common things, the things that more than one person wants, okay? So if you've got the intersection of Mama's goals, Ruth's goals, and Walter's goals, it's gonna look like this, okay? You could also put Benita in here. You could also put Travis in here, okay? The more circles you put, the more perspectives you're gonna get. Now, it does get a little bit more complicated. Ideally, you generally have 2 to 3 circles in a Venn diagram. So the way that this one works is if you look at the red circle, the pinkish circle right here, this is Ruth. What does she want, okay? That's gonna go in this box here in the middle. What would Walter and Ruth want? That's what's going to go in this box over here. I don't really need you to fill this Venn diagram out, but I do want to talk about if $10,000 in the 1950s is a lot of money. Okay, for those of you guys that are thinking $10,000, I don't know, not that big, not going to change an entire family's life. But back in 1950, it would. That's a tremendous amount of money. It's probably closer to $80,000 to $100,000 would be today. Okay, so this is a very big swing in their life. These are folks who've lived in the same house for their entire lives, right? We find out later in the play that that apartment that they're living in, Mama and Big Walter lived there. It was their first place, and they've been there for years and years and years. Walter grew up there. So, I mean, this is a place that's been paid rent on for a very long time. And the opportunity to get out of there, I mean, that's a big thing to them. But let's talk about the dreams, okay? Mama has a goal, really, just to kind of keep Walter's legacy alive, Big Walter, the father who passed away and who left the life insurance money. She just wants his life's work to have amounted to something, and she wants to take care of her family. So for her, that top green box is something as simple as when Ruth says, why don't you just go on a trip to Europe? She could, right? That would benefit her and her exclusively. She doesn't want to do that. She wants that middle box. She wants that box right there that's the intersection of everybody. And she's trying to figure out exactly what to do in order to please everybody, in order to make everybody happy and successful and have an opportunity. That's what the whole goal of this money is. Walter has his motivations, Ruth has hers, and Mama really wants everybody to do it together. Now, I will argue that I think Walter and Ruth love each other a ton, and they do want the best for each other too, and they certainly want the best for Travis, the little boy. But it's harder to do that when you've got all these moving parts, right? Whenever you've got your own motivations and your own dreams, your own goals. So that's what they're trying to do here, guys. Is they're trying to use the money for the greatest good for all of them. So going back to lesson. So first of all, in slide number 2. The check actually arrives. So what you're going to want to do is spend some time and read through this, okay? It's fairly long. At the very top here, for those of you who don't understand it, the bell sounds suddenly and sharply. The bell is the sound of the mailman dropping off the mail, okay? At this point in time, when a mailman would drop off mail on the front step, there was generally a bell to pull to tell people, hey, the mail's here. And they would run downstairs and grab it, et cetera, et cetera. That is a common thing back then because there was usually one person at home, right? This is the era in which most women stayed home and took care of the family. And certainly
Certainly Ruth is in that category. Okay, she takes care of the family, makes sure that everything's done. Mama actually has a job and goes out and takes care of folks' kids. Walter certainly has a job, and of course, Beneath is in school. So that's the reason that the bell was such a thing back in that era. So they send Travis down there. He goes and grabs the check, comes up, and here it is. They have it. They have the check. It's a real thing now, right? So now they have to figure out what to do. So let's go ahead and go to section 3 here. Okay, moving on to section 3. So here's what we need to figure out, okay? These guys have their lines, the things that they say, the things that they want. So what you're to do is write in those little boxes here, what does Benita want? What does Mama want? What does Walter want? What does Ruth want? What does Travis want? Go to the second bit. Okay, so here on the second card on this, what you've got is the whole scene 1. Okay, the thing we've already read through. You've already gone through this before, and you have proof, you have ideas of why everybody wants what they want. What you need to do is go through this scene and make sure that you've got yourself some evidence. Because again, in your writing, people care what you can prove. If you can find evidence in the writing, you get a lot stronger argument than, well, I don't know, I think he likes this. That doesn't matter. So right here, you want to add, based upon some research in this text, what have you learned about how Mama feels, how Ruth feels, how Travis feels, how Walter feels, okay? I don't know why they didn't put Beneath in here, but that's okay. Then we're going to go to card number 5. I would love to do card number 4 where we all act these things out. Alas, this is not the year for that. So the writing assignment is 120 words, specifically talking about what is one thing that is important for an audience to understand about the characters in this moment. Okay, so right here, when the check arrives, when the mail gets there, what is something that you need to know about the characters? You need to use details from the play, okay? Details from the commentary, from whether it's the stage directions, whether it's the way the character is supposed to act, whatever. And you need to describe how an actor might convey this particular thing. So what do I mean by that? Right here, Mama collecting herself. Well, I don't know what we're all so excited about around here for. We've known it was coming for months. She's excited, but she's trying to remain calm and controlled and not appear like she's just fawning all over this, like this is the moment that everybody's been waiting for, even though it is. She wants the family to be about the family, and she doesn't want to be about the money. She knows that they need the money, and that's the thing about it. So how does she collect herself? I mean, you've done it, right? You've had times where you're just overwhelmed with something and you're like, okay, here we go. That's how the actor might describe it. So what you want to do is go through and just pick something from one of these people and then talk about, what do we need to know about this person? What's the proof that we have in the text for it? And how would an actor describe that? Okay. That's your assignment right there, guys. I hope that you're enjoying the play. I really encourage you to read all of this because it's a great play. I would love to show the video to you, but there's just really no way to do that. I will probably show parts of it in the live Zoom calls if you would like to watch it. Other than that, guys, I hope you're doing well, and I will see you very soon.